As Monarch comes to the end of its online school year, with seniors graduating just last Sunday, the beginning of this process can feel ages ago. However, turning back the clock to the start of online learning, many younger students, not used to the independent life that a high schooler might have, had to struggle with new forms of daily education. Linda Parker, a worker at the BVSD Emergency Child Care Center, gave some insight into what new pandemic life was like for toddlers and infants, especially those of essential workers.
My name is Linda Parker. My job right now is to go into Boulder Valley School District's Emergency Child Care Center and watch children of essential workers. Before quarantine, my job was working at Mapleton Early Childhood Center as a special ed paraeducator. Prior to working for Boulder Valley School District, I was a preschool teacher in the city of Louisville for 8 years. There's essential workers that can't do their jobs because they have small children at home. And so Boulder Valley opened the Infant Toddler Center.
The change to Linda's job was fast and came out of nowhere, with little time to decide what to do.
I was notified that my job would change, I believe, on the last night of what would have been spring break. And unless we had like a medical reason or a doctor's note that we couldn't, we were supposed to shift what we were doing and report to community schools, who is in charge of emergency childcare.
As the center opened, new strict health regulations were put into place because of the virus.
We had several days of online calls with Boulder Valley's nursing staff advising us how to keep the facility safe, what kind of procedures we'd have to go through when people arrived. We all have masks. We have to have our temperature taken every day when we show up. We have to answer a health questionnaire about whether our health status has changed, whether we've traveled out of the area, whether anyone in our family's health status has changed. The child and the parent has their temperature taken and also have to answer the health questionnaire. And then our protocol at the end of the day for cleaning is also really strict. Ours, we just do a lot of cleaning throughout the day, and if they play with it, then while they nap, we clean every surface with the disinfectant and then rinse it, and then it goes back out. And then in the afternoon, we pull everything, clean it again, it goes back out, and then at the end of the day, we do a full wipe down.
Even those as young as toddlers had social changes because of the pandemic.
And older children, like at Community Montessori, who are 3 and up, have to maintain social distancing. I think my understanding was they were going to make each child their own set of materials, where the child would come each day and those would be their crayons and their paper and their markers and their Legos, and it's labeled with the child and wrapped up and kept together. With that age group, it's difficult to maintain.
Linda talked about the change in her job and what it was like taking on a new role to support those helping on the front lines of fighting the virus.
It's nice to support people who really need it, but it's definitely not the work that I'm used to. I'm used to a little more structure and a little more of teaching of content going on. And obviously, we're all used to having more kids than what we have. I mean, even this center would have 10 infants in the room and 10 toddlers. So they'd have a minimum of like 20 kids there on a regular day. I had to have a little bit of thinking carefully about whether, if I was bringing it back into my home and was exposing my family. But once I went on site and I met the other coworkers and saw that we were all in the same boat, we were a little nervous, but felt like it was important and it's a job with value, then most of the concerns became less. My job is always working with people, and I really enjoy working with people. And so the positive of this job has been still going out and collaborating and working and helping people. I think I also realized that a group of people can come together in a very short amount of time and really come up with a plan and make something work, even we've never worked together before.
The Emergency Child Care Center wraps up its services the same day all BVSD schools say goodbye for the year. For KYOT, I'm Cameron Parker.